goes everywhere. If you're suggesting something else happened, Ryder, I'd rather you didn't.
Welcome to the class guide for the Commando Technician in Mass Effect Andromeda. This build is all about being a one-man army and allows you to do a lot of AOE damage and provides some sustain due to the abilities it uses. The three main abilities for this build are Energy Drain, Invasion, and Assault Turret. Energy Drain is one of the first abilities you get in the game, and this provides both utility and damage in that it restores your shields and also does a considerable amount of damage to enemies, and also helps you take down enemies who have a large shield themselves. So when you get to rank 4, you're going to want to spec for recharge speed. This just provides the ability to use this more often in battle, which is always good. Next, in rank 5, you want Auxilary Drain. So this allows you to do an AOE version of the same ability, and gives you additional recharge of your shields based on the amount of targets you affect. Lastly, in rank 6, you're going to want to go with the damage perk. What this does is allow you to do 20% more damage and additional damage to shields and synthetics. This is great. It's an easy choice as it provides more damage, whereas the alternative at rank 6 provides additional shields, and you really won't need that as much. Next, let's go over Invasion. Invasion is really the bread and butter of this build entirely. So what it does is it provides a debuff on your enemy that does 25%. It allows you to do 25% more damage. It lasts for 15 seconds and does a small amount of damage. So this does 30 damage. I believe Energy Drain does around 160 base. So not as much, but a little bit. The real benefit to this is you can place Invasion on a target and it'll spread to other enemies. So to do this, at rank 4 we're going to select the Outbreak perk, which now affects up to 3 enemies near the target location. This is the AOE that I was talking about and helps get the debuff across more enemies. Next is Epidemic. So what this does is allows it to spread 20% further and lasts for 40% longer. And this is an alternative to Weaken, which just provides 10% additional damage debuff, which is nice, but I think Epidemic is better for this build in particular, as at rank 6 we're taking Virulence. And what this does is explodes the enemies once they fall below 15% health. So I have some gameplay footage to show how this will work, but this in tandem with Energy Drain provides a tremendous amount of AOE, and you can take down packs of enemies simply just by casting these two spells. So we'll have some gameplay highlighting that, but this AOE at rank 6 is really what makes this particular spell useful, and it complements well with the other abilities. Lastly is Assault Turret. So Assault Turret's tremendous because it provides a lot of constant damage. It's a companion that just simply does 20 damage per shot at its base level and will attack the nearest enemy. So at rank 4 you're going to want to spec this for a 40% increase in recharge speed. This is huge because you really don't need the health. Turrets really aren't going to die too often in battle, so the more uptime you can get, the better. Next at rank 5 you're going to click Omni Link. So Omni Link gives you 30% faster recharge speed, and also an additional heal when you're in range. This is great because it allows you to use it more often and get more uptime on this ability. Your alternative here is 25% turret damage, which is strong and definitely could be considered, but a bulk of your damage isn't going to be coming from the individual turret shots themselves, but rather the rank 6 ability, which is Flamethrower. So Flamethrower is your rank 6 ability. What this does is 45 damage per second, but most importantly what this does is allows you to prime enemies for combo detonations. So this will apply the combo primer, and then you could initiate it by using Energy Drain. So Energy Drain detonates combo primers. So this will provide that extra burst of damage, as I mentioned, where you can take down packs of enemies very easily. As for your secondary abilities, you're going to want to max out Offensive Technician. Next, Auxilary Systems. Lastly, in combat, you can use you can buff up any tree that you want depending on which gun you want to use. I think pistols are viable, assault rifles, and shotguns. I really wouldn't consider a sniper for this build, as it's not a close range build, but you kind of do need to be up and close to the enemy. And then you can also, of course, get combat fitness and combat tools, as you get more skills. Now let's get into some gameplay. So right here I'm going to show a battle against some raiders. Keep in mind the red ability that explodes is invasion, and the turret is already out doing damage. So right here I'm going to be able to score some extra damage due to invasion, as well as a bonus kill because of the explosion at the end of invasion. It's a strong ability that allows you to really command the battlefield and take out a lot of the grunts a lot quicker. Now this build also excels at fighting single targets. So I'm going to show an example of an Architect battle where my turret's able to take care of some of the extra Revenant, as well as put some damage in on the legs and head, while I'm able to focus down the individual target locations with the invasion ability as well as the energy drain ability. Right here you'll see me casting my invasion and energy drain on cooldown. I do let my turret die here, but that'll happen during these battles as the architects do some AOE damage. But the great thing about this build is it provides a ton of mobility and the ability to focus down the single targets as well due to invasion's debuff as well as energy shield's damage.
Death was everywhere. If you're suggesting something else happened, Ryder, I'd rather you didn't.
Thank you guys for watching, and Director Tan said it best. This build will help you spread death everywhere and allow you to command the battlefield. For more guides, stay tuned to this channel. Thank you.